What's good, guys? This is Charles from Team COG, and today, guys, I'm bringing you one of my matches from on stream. I have a huge tournament coming up in the beginning of October, a cash money tournament, so I'm testing Noble Knights, and I'm probably just going to take it because, let's be honest, it's like the only deck that I know like the back of my hand, so we're just going to go ahead and take it there. But this was a really cool and awesome kind of interaction that happened. We ended up playing through 4 different hand traps. That's right, 4 of them things we ended up playing through. And I just thought it'd be really cool to showcase how this deck can play under Mulchummy, how this deck, like, especially when you're playing such, like, defensive cards such as Cross Out and Tactics, how to properly use those, because I think that throughout there's tons of misplays throughout the entire stream. Also, remember, if you guys don't want to miss when I go live, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, so you never miss when I go live. And if you guys want to help support the channel, do so by becoming a member, get knighted, all that fun jazz, get cool emojis, perks, rewards, Discord benefits, all that fine stuff. But it just shows, like, the defensive cards you play and why we play them, because there's, like, so many hand traps that exist in the format that can completely, like, kind of blow us out. And Mulcharmy is, like, one of those really interesting hand traps that lead into more hand traps. So you got to, like, play correctly. And I feel like cards such as I said, Cross Out and Talents allow you to play very well here. So we're going to go ahead and go down here and hit play. So Mulcharmy gets dropped right here. So frame 1 Mulcharmy, and immediately in stream I'm like, oh well, now we're cooked, because like I special from the hand, especially in the boxer variant, like 4 or 3 times, like that's insane. But and especially with opening Witch, that's like 5 times, so they're gonna get to draw 5. But you guys will see here just what happens. So we go ahead and press play. We go ahead and normal summon out the Uppercutter here, because Uppercutter is, like, of course, the 1-card combo. We go ahead and use Uppercutter's effect to go ahead and add ourselves the Boxer, and then immediately, next thing you know, upon the add, we get hit with Droll and Lockbird. So he gets 1 draw, so he fires off Droll. Droll's a turn-ending card, so we do have to respond with our Cross-Out Designator here, just because, like, Droll ends our turn. Once Droll's gone, that means we just have to play through, like, other high-impact cards, such as Imperm, Nibiru, Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, potentially, you know, it's Untalon. But we end up, Droll is like a turn ender, it ends our turn. So we end up cross-outing the Droll. We go and special summon out the Spar. He gets another draw, so he's still up to 5 cards. And I'm still, right here, I contemplate firing off Tactics, but I'm like, well, now he's, you know, he's back to 5 cards in hand. Maybe I can see if I can bait some more cards. So we end up going into Dempsey effect on summon to go ahead and grab us the Renaud. But, so, like, there's a potential thought here. So since I have, if I go the Renaud way, it's going to give him a draw at 2, but if I go the Witch way, it's going to give him just 1 more draw versus this. So I plan this out utilizing, like, oh, Witch is going to be able to get me the ability just to give him 1 more draw instead of 2 if I use the route to send Ogier, because then I can use OSS to bring out Ricky Ardetto. Ricky Ardetto reborns the Ogier, and then I'm completely playing underneath the Mulchummy from here moving forward, which then means I can fire off this triple Tactics to go ahead and look in the hand. But anyway, so we're just, it's discussing what we're trying to do here. This is post side 2, just to be clear, so everyone, so like you guys are aware. So again, I'm contemplating here what's the correct route to do. As you see, I'm hovering over Renaud, but like in my mind, I'm going through the stuff. It's like I send Ogier, this right here lets me play underneath it. So yeah, we go ahead and we activate Dempsey to go ahead and send the Ogier. And then we activate the Heritage of Chalice to grab the field spell. I remember this pretty well. We go Heritage of Chalice, grab the field spell. We go ahead and detach here. And see, this is what's really cool about this build that plays the armor, exercise the armor stuff. Not only does it have very good synergy with, like, the noble stuff, because you're equipping stuff, and, like, Dark Knight Lancer allows you to do stuff, but it gives you a free discard with the Witch here, like, as you guys will see. So we go here, we make the armor here, and I contemplate on smacking on the Lancer right on top of it, just to kind of, like, push a little bit further so he's more inclined to, like, use hand traps, but I'm like, you know, maybe not. Hold it for later, because for some reason I don't fear anything. But we go ahead and use the Witch to go ahead and pitch the trap, because I think I just thought I could just go ahead and smack it on top of it anyway. So we go Chainlink 1 Witch, Chainlink 2 Nibiru. So this is a pretty big, I do apologize if I sound weird or I have to do some grunts and stuff like that. I am sick, I'm recovering from a sinus infection. So anyway, we fire off the Witch with Chainlink 1, Nib Chainlink 2. There, he's going to give us a Nib token, and we're going to get to sit the original Sin right here. And now we go ahead and fire off Tactics, because now under this, that was the last summon from the hand. So now we're just totally set to play underneath this Mulcharmy. So I can see YuGiOh, Grave Scrubber, and Ash Blossom. So we just go ahead and throw that Ash Blossom back, and now we get to play for free. We can link off the token into Link Spider, so we have free sin fodder with the OSS. Go ahead and summon out Ricciardetto, and then it's just kind of off to the races. Ricciardetto's going to bring back the Ogier, this is like a new freestyle form. Like, I'm not going to say like, oh, this is a new combo you can play. But this is just kind of like one of the freestyle avenues of the deck. And I feel like a lot of combo decks have these type of freestyles where you're literally just freestyling. You're just doing the motions. Like, you have particular like avenues and way, but it's just like you don't know there's like all paths lead to Rome, as Yassine normally says, or as the ancient saying goes. So now we're just going ahead and use Museum to go ahead and grab us. I think we go for Almace. Almace is one of those cards I've seen that's really good and flexible, because like in these like freestyle moments when you don't know which way you need to go, you grab Almace, because Almace can either grab you Joyous or grab you Durandal later on. So it's that flexible spot to where like when the path is not yet clear, you have the ability to diverge depending on where you're at. But we can use XYZ Armor XYZ here to go ahead and attempt to equip to Angelica, Chain Angelica, because it does target. And here I think we send... Yeah, I think we send Roland here. Remember, this is post side, so Roland and Angel Wing are in the main deck, so that we get access to Angel Ring. So that means that puts him on 3 monsters, terraforming. So I'll end up having like Spell and Trap Negates and a pop, and Angel Ring's going to hit whatever he could possibly draw, which is really good. Because the Yubels don't scare me in a way, because like they don't do really anything, if that makes sense, outside of like destroying themselves. Once he gets access to his spell cards, that's where he starts going. But if my avenue is correct, I should get to like 3 spell and trap negates, or 3 spell negates essentially. So it just pretty much, he has like Grave Squirmer and stuff like that, which again, having Charles to be a pop is pretty good, because Charles's pop is what's going to allow us to check whatever he summons. So he summons, or I summon out yo boy Synchro Charles, and then we're going to go ahead and activate the second museum. I don't know if do we use it now? I think we're just trying to fly through the motions. Go ahead and grab Durandal. Oh yeah, because we can technically, because we have Turpin in the graveyard, and we use the first museum to special summon it, so we're just going to be able to use like Durandal's like second effect, which is really cool, which you don't see used too often. Go ahead and link here into Charles. We go Chain Link 1, Charles, Chain Link 2, or Chain Link 1 should be, oh no, we do Chain Link 1, Charles. It should be Chain Link 2, Chain Link 1, Durandal, Chain Link 2, Charles, just to be able to play around hand traps like Bell and stuff like that. We can summon any monster except for Turpin. We don't want to summon out Turpin, because this is going to give us access to SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is going to give us another... So, like, it's just wild, man. Like, Charles is going to be able to pop this Nib, so, like, Nib's already solved. We go Turpin effect, because we haven't used this effect to special summon yet, to summon itself out. And then we go ahead and make Little Knight, and then we pretty much have the second museum to be able to move up the... second Charles, and then equip the Almas and get follow-up for the follow-in turn. And then, like, we're going to have, like, it's just crazy. So, like, this is all through Mulchummy, Droll, Nib, and Ash, right? So I should say this is all through, because the Ash pretty much just got sacked out of the hand. But, like, there's 4 hand traps lurking, and we were able to play correctly through 2 and then solve 2 with our hand. And this is why I think you should play non-engine cards in a deck like this. Because without, like... Crossout, like, Droll would have just ended our turn. Like, arguably, Crossout could have been Call By, but Call By's at 1 and Crossout's at 3. And like I said, this is post-side, so I definitely sided in, like, 1 Droll, 1 Nib, and stuff like that. Or I main 3 Nibs, so I decided in 1 Droll. We go to end phase, Resolve Angelica comes back. Then I'll show you the play here that I should have done correctly, but I didn't do. Roll an effect to go ahead and grab us the Angel Ring. Charles effect in the end phase. It has to be the Charles that's equipped, the second Charles, essentially, to go ahead and grab the Angel Ring from our hand, and then we're going to equip Malgus from the deck, giving us another draw, which will put us on 3 cards the following turn. But I'll show you what I should have done here, especially, like, knowing what could have happened. A giant misplay on, like, my part, I'd say. So he ends up shuffling back the Yubel and the Spirit of Yubel to go ahead and summon out the Phantom. Phantom being a monster effect negator, pretty much checks, like, one of my 4 disruptions here. I think it's 4, 3, 4, 5 disruptions. He's going to go and activate Grave Squirmer in hand. I chain SP here, and what I should have done is use if I knew he was going to respond with the Phantom, which I knew he was. It was on the back of my mind. I should have used SP target Angelica, target Phantom, and then I'm almost certain, maybe correct me when I'm wrong, I might be incorrect here, that he could have I could have chained Angelica to go ahead and get it out of the way here. But I don't do it, and that's okay. I might be incorrect. You might not actually be able to chain Angelica in that type of scenario, because of, like, it's not responding to the targeting. It'd be responding to the Yubel, so it might have just missed all in the same. But anyway, he summons out the Grave Squirmer, and then Yubel's effect will summon itself. which is really good. Like, YuGiOh being able to, like, YuGiOh's an insane deck, but it's actually one of the more fair decks. I feel like sitting down across YuGiOh, I prefer to have a better matchup against YuGiOh than I do, like, Snake Eyes, which is just literally, like, so many hand traps, but I guess arguably those Snake Eyes, like, this seems like a really good hand for YuGiOh to open this many non-engine, like, disruption in their hand, you know, especially Molchumbi and stuff, whereas Snake Eyes, it just feels like a normal day. But he ends up summoning out YuGiOh. The only thing I'm worried about is the rank 10 that could potentially come out. And right here's his first attempt. As long as I keep his spells offline, we're pretty good. That means essentially that I have to use my Charles Negates for the Nightmare Pains and the field spells, just because any like continuous or field spell like just baits Angel Ring. I know of the one card. I think right now all I know is Terraforming in his hand because he's exhausted everything else. But he goes in and sets the Nightmare Pain. He activates it. I go ahead and respond with Charles. Pretty simple to just go ahead and send the Malgus to go ahead and send it. Draw, and right here I'm praying for a hand trap. I want you guys to see what I shuffle back here. So I shuffle back Roland so I can summon it off of Angelica, right? So I put back the Spar, so it's there, and I put back Durandal, which I decided to actually put back Almas because Almas is versatile. But look, I would pray for a hand trap, and this is simulator algorithm right here. I draw another, like, what are the chances, right? Like, insane. So again, this is okay because this right here can still like trigger stuff. I can go Roland, target Angelica, and so on, and Angelica dump uppercutter, summon out Boxer. But anyway, he activates Terraforming. The ring will hit Terraforming, and then now I have one more spell and Trap Negate and a pop. So right now, if he decides to go into anything else, I'm pretty well set. If he goes into Yama, I can use Yama's effect or Charles' effect, or Roland's effect to equip the Charles. Charles destroy the Yama, and then he's put on one more disruption. I think the Yama would get him the red dog, and that card in his hand would have to be set. But like whatever he does, you know, it is what it, like whatever he would have set, he would pop with the big dog, summon out dog, and he'd be able to go nowhere with it. Especially if it's a, you know, like while he pops, having an effect like Charles we still have a spell and trap Charles online. So he tries to go battle phase, and I'm like, thinking to my man, kind of scared me, gave me a little jump scare. I was like, wait a minute, he's just gonna whack into stuff, but he takes no damage. Am I taking damage? So that's why I'm like, it's a little pause here. I'm like looking over stuff. I'm like, okay, I guess he's just doing this for giggles and shits, I guess. But I don't know the thought process. And sometimes these simulators, man, you misclick and stuff like that. But maybe he's just doing this to, you know, just to, you know, at the end of the day, like, hey, you played through this much disruption. Here, let me whack you with 2/0/0 YuGiOhs and get no damage. I don't know. I don't think there's no winnable route that he could take here. He could overlay for the big guy, but the big guy would just, you know, he's checkable real easy. And then, like, before his turn even ends, I can use Roland, target Angelica. Roland goes to grave. In phase, I get a Gear Freed. And then Angelica, like, dumps and adds. But, see, he'll go into Yami here. And right here, I'm just ready to go ahead and fire off, you know, the Roland in the graveyard. But before I even can, I'm just reading this card because I just want to make sure. It has to be in graveyard to go ahead and see the destruction. If it gets destroyed, nothing happens. And he goes ahead and he scoops it here. So, yeah, guys, that was pretty cool if you ask me. And I feel like this right here just shows that as long as you remain calm and you don't let some of these like crazy hand traps kind of throw you out of the way, like your deck, even though not every deck is like, you're not always going to guarantee to open, cross out, and tactics. I understand like that's like crazy to see, but you should, if you play it, you know, if you play 3 ofs, you have like a 33% chance or a 30% chance to see one of each. So then you technically have like some sort of like 25% chance to open both of them in the opening hand. But that's why we play these cards. And utilizing the Witch, I feel like Uppercutter as a combo doesn't do too well. There's not a lot of like ways Uppercutter plays under Nibiru pretty well, but as long as you hold the Witch, you're able to use the Witch correctly, you're able to like push through a lot of disruption, as you saw here in the replay, because the Witch being able to get access to OSS allowed us to push through high impact cards like Nibiru. Definitely 100% before the comments come flowing in. If Crossout didn't hit Droll, our turn was practically over. But I don't know, I was kind of thinking that as I was watching this, like if he activated Molcharmi and then drolled me, would he still get to draw off Molcharmi? Because it says neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand. So I don't know if he would still get to do that. But anyway, I digress. It was just a pretty interesting video and a really fun showcase to show all you fans out there, for Nobles, if you want to see how the deck can pilot and like to prove to you that the deck can play under some high impact hand traps like that. So anyway, please remember, if you guys enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button and all that fine stuff. Most importantly, you guys stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG signing out.